what would you have done if you came to know that you had a major health issue for life even before you understood what life was? At an age where we as kids were carefree, Manjot was learning to deal with the new normal in her life. So many of us feel scared of that little prick when we have to go and give our blood tests. But for her, this is a daily routine. And she has lived through it very gracefully since the age of 10. What is it? Let's talk to Manjot. And you're watching Your Essence with Nidhi Saini. Welcome back to my channel, Your Essence with Nidhi, and I have a very close friend, Manjot, with me today. Hi Manjot, welcome.
Hi, Sethi. Yes, thank you.
So, it's lovely to have you here, Manjot. After this whole year of pandemic, so nice to see you.
Same here. Yes.
Manjot, all of those who are watching us, please share a little bit about yourself before we move on.
Yes. So, like you said, we have been friends for a long time. We studied together in NIFT, and I actually am from Chandigarh, but have been working in the garment industry for quite some time, almost 17 to 18 years. And then now I have come back to Delhi. Come back to Chandigarh from Delhi, and now I'm helping out an IT company in their finance department. That's what I do.
Amazing. Awesome.
Yes.
So Manjot, yeah, of course, everybody knows that now we've known each other since college, and I've also seen you deal with a health challenge, for the longest time ever. Would you like to share that with?
Yes. So I was actually 10 years old when once we went to Shimla, and I was having lots of pani, and her 5 minute bath, and I wanted to use the loo. So my parents could not understand what's wrong with her. Like, it has never happened before, and why is she drinking so much, and fit thand lag rahi hai, and then coming back to the hotel. And then we decided that okay, then we shortened our trip and came back, and the school was to start, and I was doing the same thing, drinking lots of water, going to the loo, and I lost about 10 kgs in like a week. So my parents suddenly were like a little worried, not a little, they were worried. And then my dad's friend told him ki this kids children's doctor is there, and maybe you can show her to him. So we went, we got our he got my blood tested and everything. And by evening, I think I was really not chitarhar aata tha, tab I remember, and I really didn't want to see it. It was a very big thing, and my bua was with me, and then she called up. Tab to phone वगैरह तो होते नहीं थे, right?
I know, yeah.
So my father called up the landline to ask how I was doing, because at that time doctor had told them that I am suffering from diabetes. So that time my father called up because the sugar had come pretty high. So he called up home, and my bua said, no, she's not well, and she's just sleeping outside. And then my dad came with the doctor at home, and then the doctor just had a look at me, and then he says she's already going into a coma. So if you can take her to the hospital immediately. So our landlord was there. We used to stay in Sector 18, and then he drove the car and took us to the hospital, PGI. There, yes, I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, and I've been living with that since then. And now, living with type 1 diabetes from last 34 years.
That might have been so tough, Manjot, as a 10-year-old. How did you even accept it? How was it for you? I'm sure it might have been really difficult to even understand what's going on with you, right?
Actually, no, Nidhi. For me, I was never fond of meetha. So for me,
Okay.
it was very easy. Um, when I was in the hospital, the doctor who was there, they were so good and so nice, and they made sure that I learn how to prick myself, and I'm able to give the injection to myself and one family member before they let me go from the hospital.
Okay.
And they really were very encouraging, very very encouraging. They actually made my parents meet other parents also जिनके बच्चे अभी बहुत छोटे थे. Like I remember उस time पे there was a 4-year-old boy who was diagnosed, and then there was a 3-year-old girl who was diagnosed, so they were also there. So for my parents it was a very very tough time,
I'm sure.
because it's not that easy for any parent to see
Yeah.
your child being pricked, or continuously has to check her sugar or prick herself for the injection. And then doctors were very clear on this, that try what may, but this is going to stay with her. So her pancreas are not working anymore. So that is in fact what type 1 diabetes is, that your pancreas stop working.
Okay.
And that's why you have to give insulin from the outside in a basic language.
Mm.
So that's what we did. And for me, I was pretty happy कि चीनी तो मैं वैसे ही नहीं खाती. And I honestly took it as a challenge कि अगर मेरे को इंजेक्शन लग रहे हैं तो मैं I can be as active and as energetic, and I can do the same things as Nidhi does.
Yeah, I know. I've seen you. Yeah, we've enjoyed so much
Yeah.
in college, and
Yeah. So
life
for me,
used to be
it was,
normal.
yeah, true. So for me, it was never a big thing.
Yeah.
And meetha was never the craving, so that way I was pretty happy कि अच्छा ठीक है, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ा. But yes, sometimes जब भूख भी नहीं होती थी और इंजेक्शन लेके खाना खाना पड़ता था, that time थोड़ा सा लगता था कि हाँ ये क्या हो गया. And because मेरे को डायबिटीज थी, तो family everyone suddenly got very much aware and careful about what they are eating. And then suddenly my sister, who is 4 years younger to me, and घर में मीठा आना बंद है ना, so suddenly she was also told to control herself, which then the doctor told my parents that she's a growing bacha and let her grow, the younger one. And of course she's active and everything is there. It doesn't mean that if one, generally diabetes, everyone thinks there's diabetes, parents family में किसी को होगा, इसको हो गया है,
Genetic.
the
Yeah.
end of the story.
Yeah.
Actually it's not. Now there are 5 types of diabetes. It's very interesting to read about it. At that time also there were 3, but one was with pregnancy and the other was when you have in the older age, which is type 2, and then type 1, which happens to the kids. But as parents, like your earlier person also who you had interviewed from Mumbai, she had shared that parents सब कुछ करते हैं ना.
Exactly.
My parents also did that.
Yeah.
So they tried everything. योगा करा दो, ऐसे करा दो, इसके पास चले जाओ, उसकी जड़ी बूटी काम करती है, उसका ये करा दो, वो कर दो. दलाई लामा के वहाँ पे मेडिसिन मिलती है for diabetes, take her there. So my parents did whatever they could. But then once again the doctor told them that there is no point. You are just making yourself just accept it. That acceptance was very tough, maybe for them. For me it was very easy. I don't know how, but very easy. And that's it. And since then I think they also became pretty brave, and we have been carrying on.
I have never really felt any difference, because the way you have accepted, it was so easy for people around you to accept, me included. Okay, whenever I came into your life and we met, so that new normal that was for you very early in life. I think that's amazing. So this is one part, Manjot, that this is a health challenge which you're dealing on a daily basis, right? But I'm sure you might have faced the ripple effects of this in other areas of your life also, which might have been a big challenge, I'm sure.
Yeah,
Would you
But
like to share if there are any such
it
challenges?
did happen. I'll share because maybe at that age, itna na, jab main school bhi jati thi, so there was another girl who had type 1, but her parents were not willing to share it in the school or tell anyone. So that way, my parents were very clear that we need to, and tomorrow, if something happens to her in the school, the teacher should know what to do. So, what Nidhi, the hush hush thing about diabetes hai, or kal ko how will she manage her life and how will she stay alone? But for me, it has been touchwood very easy, all thanks to the support of my family, especially my mother. And in fact, my father, my mother, my sister, all of them have been like a big support, and I've never had this kind of a thing ki nahi batana, you know, ki I'm living with type 1 diabetes. And even with friends, I used to tell them that, mere samne meetha nahi khana because I can't eat, so you guys can't eat. That kind of a thing. And I remember at few times they have actually stopped because, they felt that maybe it's good that they also stop it. And slowly then I graduated, and then I got a job and started living alone also. But even then I was able to manage the diabetes pretty well. The only thing which I was very confident and never thought this was going to be an issue ever, till the person I was going to get married to and his family refused, saying that she has diabetes. That's the first time I felt that, oh, okay, things don't work out the way you want them. You know? And because I was accepting, everyone around me was accepting it, so I assumed that they will too. But yes, that was the first time I lost my confidence, and I really felt bad about it the first time. But then I think I got over it pretty soon, and I decided that marriage is not the only thing in life, and then you can continue life otherwise also. And then it apparently happened again. So a very close friend of mine, her brother and I were planning to take it forward. But like people say ना कि ऐसे कैसे हो सकता है, सब एक्सेप्ट कर लेते हैं, ऐसे इसमें तो कोई बड़ी बात नहीं है. But लोगों के कहने और करने में ना there's huge difference. That's what I realized when this thing happened. And then I got into this practice of Nichiren Buddhism, Namya Horenge Kyo. So I started chanting, and that has really
Give you
helped.
strength. It
Yes.
might have given you the
Yes.
the inner peace that
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. True. Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, I think I personally feel we need to accept differences that we have around us as individuals. It's very important. I hope the mindset changes, and
Oh, it has. It has.
I hope it changes for a lot of people who have not yet changed.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, it has changed so much. Like Jazz Sethi from Ahmedabad, she has started with this diabetes group.
Okay.
So I came to know about it about a year ago, and she basically is getting all the type 1 people living with type 1 diabetes together. So that's how I came to know about this group, and I've met such nice people who are married, have kids, and and so the only thing what I learned from them was ki parents ko batao, your immediate family should know, so that they know what to do and how to take care of you, and that's it. And their thinking has really changed.
And I'm glad, if people are really, really accepting it, because there's life beyond this. This is not the end of the world. And this can happen with anybody. I don't think so that this should be made a reason for, taking things forward. And I'm really glad that you have found your inner peace. Yes. So what was your biggest strength? What have you understood in this whole journey, Manjot, in the last 34 years of your life, 34 years? What is your biggest strength? What have you understood about yourself?
Sometimes strength is that I get up every time I fall. I think that's my strength.
That is so, I think that is the biggest, motivator. And I think that's a very strong part of somebody's personality and
Yes.
character.
But yeah, it's sometimes that you just it takes you time to get up.
Yeah.
But I have been getting up, so I've been pretty lucky that way. Yes, and I have a healthy body. I'm moving around. I can take care of myself. That's a very big thing.
Yeah.
You're not depending on anyone, and
True.
you have beautiful friends and family around to take care of you.
Lovely.
Yes.
That's awesome. So Manjot, like you, there might be a lot of people who are facing maybe a similar challenge like yours, or maybe something else in life, but what message do you want to give to those people? Or anybody who's listening to us?
It's the best thing is that don't lose your faith and strength. Don't ever lose your faith and strength with what people say, how they are judging you, and what they want to, talk about you. Till you and your family. So I always feel that जब तक मेरे को पता है ना सच क्या है, doesn't matter what the other person is saying, right? If I know what the truth is, and if I can live with myself with that truth, and that's what matters. And if I am able to take care of myself and live life comfortably, so yeah.
I think that's really strong. I think that's a very, very strong message, Manjot. And
Yes.
I also totally believe in it. अगर आप खुश हो ना, तो फिर आपको दुनिया को प्रूव करने की जरूरत नहीं है.
जरूरत नहीं है.
क्योंकि सबके पर्सपेक्टिव, सबकी सोच इतनी अलग है.
हाँ.
कोई गलत नहीं है, लेकिन सब अलग है. So I
अलग
think
हाँ, that I totally agree. No one is wrong, but in how they're bringing up and their environment and everything makes a difference.
True.
So how you have been living your life makes you judge other people.
बिल्कुल.
So
Yeah. We all have different beliefs, but yeah, I think be peaceful with what you have and what you are.
true.
Awesome.
And it's strong. Yes.
Yes, and that's a very strong message for everybody. I hope those who are struggling understand that, and they are at peace with themselves. Thank
Yes.
you, Manju.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sethi. Take care. Love you.
Take care.